results out. A new high in CBSE results. Admission worry grips students. What next with cutoffs and overseas education? Our top focus on India today. Hello and welcome. Thank you so much for staying with us here on India Today. Today we're going to be having a discussion on one of the most important topics, that is worrying students in India. As the CBSE results are out in these unprecedented times, a new high in the CBSE results was seen. Passing percentage touching an all-time high of 88%, and number of students getting 95% in CBSE in class 12 has surged to 119%. Yes, you heard me right. 119% rise. Getting an admission in college is now worrying students. What is going to be the next course of action? How are the college cutoffs going to be looking like? What happens to overseas education? We're going to be discussing all of this on the special panel, and joining us on the broadcast is one of the most renowned education counselors in the country. Dr. Karan Gupta joins us. Dr. Jaswinder Singh, who is the principal of Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Khalsa College from Delhi University, joins us. Rahul Agarwal, he's the director of St. Mark's Group of Schools, is joining us. And we've got a lovely guest with us today, Divyanshi Arora. She's a student. She's just passed out of her 12th grade of CBSE. I welcome you all to this very special broadcast. First up, Dr. Karan Gupta. 2020 has seen a 119% jump in the number of students scoring 95%. How are you viewing this rise, and what is your advice to students who want to study in India and go abroad?
Thank you, Chaiti, for having me here. It's a pleasure to be here. 119% jump. It's incredible and unprecedented. Now, we understand that due to the pandemic, certain papers were not graded and average marks were taken. But in the end, these kind of grades, it's ridiculous, and the CBSE board loses all credibility. Students are not motivated to study when they know that they can now put in minimal effort and still get superb grades. In the long run, besides damaging the CBSE board's reputation, this is going to affect students big time.
Absolutely. Karan, also wanted to get a sense of what should the 12th graders do at this point of time who want to study in India? What is your advice to them who are going abroad? And what should the other 12th graders do who are from the state board as well? They are going to be facing a lot of competition coming in from all these CBSE students who are scoring 99 and 100%. Is gap year also an option? It's a very American concept, I know.
Absolutely, Chaiti. Now, the gap year has slowly creeped into our students' lives as well. And this particular year is an odd year. And with the pandemic, yes, a gap year is probably a good idea. But the students should have something fruitful planned in this year. If you're going to learn a new language, if you're going to take internships, if you're going to villages and change their education or sanitation or health, and you're going to do something big with your life in this 1 year, then go ahead and take that gap year. But if you're going to take the gap year and not too much, just sitting at home and possibly taking an online course here and there, then don't take the gap year. Now, with these grades coming in, it is a very big problem, and college admissions in India are going to be really, really hard. There are a few things that I recommend students can still do. So one, I tell students that knowledge is power. Know that admissions this year are harder and be realistic with your college choices. If you're looking for a management degree like BMS or BBA, look at colleges which will accept you with a lower percentage. For example, if the cutoff was 95 last year, you know that this year is going to be 97, 98, maybe 99. Look at colleges which are less competitive. I know it may not be your first choice, but you have to have backup options. And that brings me to the subject that given these exceptional high grades that students have got, you would have to look at your second or third choice major. So if, for example, if you don't get BMS or BBA and you're a management student, you might have to take BCom. I know it's not desirable, but we have to be practical. And the third I would tell students is look at private universities, which are now accredited and deemed universities by UGC. They're worth considering. You could get admission to these universities with their 12th grades and entrance tests. So if the cutoff of is not matching with the grades you've got, of let's say you've got 90 and the cutoff is 95, but you do really well in their entrance tests, you still have some chance of at least getting into these schools for admission. And you could also look at institutes which don't grant degrees but grant diplomas, and on the side you could do possibly a correspondence course from a university. Again, I know this is not desirable, but at least you get the experience of being in a college, earning a diploma, and you get an accredited degree by correspondence. So these are just some of the options, Chetty, that I can think of.
So yes, so that's very nice, because students who are watching this broadcast right now, what Dr. Karan Gupta has essentially said is that you can take a gap year if you really wish to. It's an American concept, but having said that, if you want to really go ahead and study in India and you are facing that particular problem of an influx of students, these are the other options that you can end up taking. So say for example, you were looking at a BBA, you now go and do your BCom, and you can compromise a little bit. I'm going to come back to you, Dr. Karan Gupta, on this point in just about a bit. But Rahul, how has such liberal marking created a big problem? Do you want to now see the undergraduation admission criteria change on the back of these high scores that we're seeing?
Of course, Chetty, I feel that what has happened here, like Dr. Karan also said, CBSE is now losing complete credibility. You know, anyway, before all of this, few years ago, many years ago, that SATs and ACTs, though these kind of exams anyway proved that a lot of countries did not have much faith in our system. Hence, they said, even if you score 90%, but come and give a SAT, you know. I guess what the way of the future would be that a lot of colleges will start doing their entrance exams, you know, because since everybody now today, you know, there are so many students for the past so many years, they've worked so hard, they've, you know, got 95, 96, 97%. And now today, suddenly there are students who did, you know, who were 70 percenters are now standing neck to neck with them, you know, side by side. So there has to be a way where everybody gets paid off for their hard work. You know, and what is the system? What is the system for that? The only system is give another entrance exam, right? So IIT, you know, engineering, medical colleges, they got rid of our CBSE marks long time ago. You know, they lost faith. They said, you know, everybody's scoring no matter how much, but come and give an entrance exam. So I guess that is the way of the future. Unfortunately, a child will be subjected to another exam, which should not be. You know, I feel bad for the students, but because the system is losing credibility, what do you do?
That's right. That's right. You know, that's a very important point that you brought forth as well. Let's take that with Dr. Jaswinder as well. Dr. Jaswinder, how do you plan to resolve this grade inflation issue? What are the DU cutoffs even going to look like this year? Isn't it also unfair for the state board students who have had stricter marking as well? Is intake by selection and not elimination, like Rahul was pointing out, an option or being explored by the Delhi University?
Yeah, you know, University of Delhi, every year it faces this kind of a problem. You know, for the last 2 years, the results were moderated by the CBSE. Unfortunately, I think the moderation has not been done this year, and as a result, we are getting slightly inflated grades. Last year, you know, the state boards, they also followed the CBSE in doing the moderation for the grades, and as a consequence, you know, we had a very reasonable, comparable standards of, you know, getting the students. True, on the one side that yes, there is a 119% jump in the students who are scoring 90% plus.
95 plus.
I think the University of Delhi is going to face a lot of challenges on 3 fronts. First, of course, the number of students crossing the grades, you know, getting higher grades has gone up. The second issue is that many of the foreign universities, which I think Dr. Rahul was talking about, they may not be keen to get the foreign students because of the COVID-19 pandemic, especially the North American universities, Canada and America. And some of the European universities, they are also not very willing to take many students. So as a result, those students who were planning to go abroad or who were seeking admission abroad, they have postponed it, and that pressure is going to be there on premier universities like University of Delhi. And then there is another issue, and that is that the joint entrance examination for engineering and medical, the NEET examination is slightly delayed, and all that those components of students, all those sections of students will try to get admissions in either the science courses or in in the relatively non-medical courses in University of Delhi. So there is going to be a pressure, and there is also likelihood that when the JEE and the NEET examinations results will be declared, some of the students will drop out from the colleges and they will go to the professional colleges. So we are factoring in all these things in the admission committee, and we shall pop up in the sense that every year we deal with this problem. But the challenge is not only this, the challenge is also that we have to engage the students from 1st of September. It has been mandated by the UGC, and we have to conduct the classes both for the students who are already there in the second and third years in different semesters, and also the first semester students who will be there. So these colleges, the universities,
but just for these students who are coming in and applying for admissions at the moment, are you looking at any kind of selection criteria which is not by elimination as it has been over the past few years?
No, University of Delhi has a bimodal system. There are certain entrance-based courses like Bachelor in Management Studies, BFIA, BBA, and then elementary education. But in majority of the courses, we have the merit-based admissions, and that is what we have resolved to follow this year also. That we will continue to persist with our merit-based admissions. And we will try to accommodate. And
but merit-based again, sir, with all due respect, means that the ones who have got the highest amount of percentages get taken in and the rest of them get left out. I'm actually going to get in Devyanshi. Devyanshi, does this worry you somewhere? How are you and your peers coping with this, Devyanshi?
All right. Thank you so much, ma'am, for having me here, first of all. So as we know that recently CBSE results were declared under the shadow of this unparalleled pandemic of all time. So we have seen that there are many, extraordinary outcomes of this, and so many students who have not been doing very well throughout the year, they've got such inflated percentages of say 93%, 95%, so on and so forth. So no doubt the competition is going to be all the more stiff this time, and the colleges, especially the ones that are meant for the cream students, so they're going to release even higher cutoffs this time. So somewhere or the other it worries me, but all I feel is that one should not lose faith in oneself, because with all this dedication and perseverance we could make it till here. So I believe the students, especially the deserving ones, will definitely make it to their dream colleges in the future.
I'm going to bring in Dr. Karan Gupta on this as well. Dr. Karan Gupta, what would your advice be to DUs of the world and other universities as well? Should they follow this kind of a selection, or should they, change their approach and the methodology in which they accept their students as well?
Well, definitely, Chaiti. I mean, this is something that universities now have to start looking at today. The private universities which are coming up in India, and many of them are doing well, because they are picking candidates not just based on their CBSE marks. They're looking at a lot more in a candidate. Today, now we can't trust the CBSE grades anymore. The CBSE probably tried to do a good thing, saying, you know what, let's give everybody 100, let's give everybody 99, 98, and they'll be happy. But they don't realize the problem they've now created with the board losing all credibility. Universities have to start looking beyond CBSE marks. Look at now possibly the entrance test. Okay, if you want to see the academic rigor, but do an interview with the candidate. Find out what their motivation is. Find out why they are passionate about something. Check what the extracurricular activities are. Try to have now a holistic approach into evaluating a candidate, because that's the only way you would be able to segregate a candidate who's superior and a candidate who's not as superior as that candidate. There's no other way. You can't just rely on CBSE grades anymore.
Absolutely. And, for the ones who are now, looking at securing admission here, of course, DU and other universities would have to change the criteria in which they accept students as well, just in case they do not do that. What would your advice be to students, Dr. Karan Gupta, and what for the ones who want to study abroad this year as well? Because all these admission committees sitting abroad must be wondering what is happening to these grades, and they're going to be looking at Indian students differently, Dr. Gupta.
Absolutely. Chaiti, now when you have a top university looking at these marks and then they see someone with CBSE and they look at all the candidates applying, let's say we have 100 candidates and all of them are 95 and above, universities abroad are now going to think that anyone with a 90, 92, 93 is not a good student anymore. So it's not even an absolute number, it's a relative number. We have to see it in relation to what the other candidates have got. For a long time, universities abroad, and especially the top ones, they gave preference to international boards. They wanted students who were from IB, from A levels, people who had reputed boards. They always thought that state boards like CBSE or ISC or HSC were not that great. Now the suspicions are confirmed. In the past, we've had so many scams with CBSE marks as well. Now, this is nothing short of a scam, Chaiti, where you suddenly have so many candidates with 95 to 100. This only means that when students apply abroad, they have to have a lot more in their profile if they're coming in from a CBSE board.
Absolutely. Rahul, I'm going to bring you in. Somewhere there is a challenge in credibility, there is a challenge in validity, there is also some sort of a parameter to assess the aptitude that needs to be put in place even by our homegrown universities as well, the DUs of the world. Rahul, what is your advice to them? And I know Dr. Jaswinder is listening. I'm going to come back to him on this.
Chaiti, already if you look at universities all over the world, they're already looking at a child's complete portfolio. You know, they have anyway lost credit. Of course, CBSE has lost credibility. That is the reason people moved on to an IB board, where they realize that if a child got marks there, it's definitely more credible than a CBSE board exam result. Right? So I think the Indian colleges or private universities will have to move to, like, you know, an interview, a portfolio of a child, because marks alone just will not be able to hold or be able to tell you a child's value, right? CBSE needs to pull up their socks. They need, maybe, you know, there is a silver lining to this dark cloud here, that CBSE needs to realize that they need to, you know, take off. They are right now very politically aligned. You know, unfortunately, what happens in schools is every time there's a new government, a chapter on Nehru will be deleted, a chapter on Shiv Sena will be put in, you know. I'm seriously telling you, these are the problems faced by schools, right? Because of what is happening in CBSE. CBSE needs to be like a judiciary. They need to cut away themselves and be governed as by a completely separate body. You know, then only I think CBSE will have some credibility, and they need to stop playing with the future of all these children.
Dr. Jaswinder, you're listening to all of their recommendations coming in. Dr. Karan Gupta is somebody who deals with students day in and day out, advising them on what to do next. You have Rahul Agarwal, who's the director of one of the most premier chain of schools in Delhi as well. You've heard them out. This somewhere, does it make you put your thinking cap on, Dr. Jaswinder, and feel that you need to make a case for these students who are trying to secure admission as well and change the criteria slightly? I know that you have a selection criteria which is different for certain degrees, but your regular BComs and your BAs and your BScs, of course, you're going to be going on merit base, which means a percentage cutoff at the end of the day.
You see, fortunately or unfortunately, CBSE is the only board which has certain standards, and it is recognized all over the world. True that there is an inflation in the scores this year, in the grades this year, but still, you know, CBSE has a very transparent mechanism. Whatever is their result, Delhi University will try to accommodate the maximum number of students. And I would rather advise the students that they should go for the course rather than for the institution only, because in the University of Delhi, there are 52 colleges which are offering many of these courses. And they can apply to any good college, and there are very interactive mechanisms across the colleges.
No, but I don't think the students are feeling that confident, Dr. Jaswinder. I'm going to bring in Devyanshi right here. Devyanshi, are you confident that you're going to be making it to the first choice of your college? Tell us what your marks look like, and what does that give you confidence that you're going to be making it to the first college that you applied to?
I completely agree with you.
One minute.
So, ma'am, what I feel is, like, currently I've got an aggregate score of 98%, and definitely Delhi University has been my priority. Like, for so many years, I've had this aim that I'll go to Delhi University. But now that I see that so many of my friends, they've got equivalent, percentages, and I am not really confident whether I'll be able to make it to the best college or not. But then I really look forward to, getting into the best one. Like sir mentioned that that we need to be course specific, and somewhere or the other we can, somewhere we can adjust or maybe sacrifice on the college. Like me being a student, and even so many other students like me, I don't really think that they will consider this, because that course is offered in so many colleges, right? But when we aim for a particular college, we definitely want to make it to that college.
And
So even
it's
I would
going
like
to
do
leave
that.
a lot many like you very disappointed, and that's why Dr. Karan Gupta, I want to ask you this. Devyanshi just said that she would then make a sacrifice with the college if she does not make it to the first choice of her college. At what point should that sacrifice even stop? Say if you wanted, in American terms, I'll tell you, you wanted the Harvards of the world, and you do not get the Harvards of the world, or in Indian context, you wanted to make it to the IITs of the world. You can't just go to any other college that is just offering you a diploma degree which is not even known. At what point do you stop compromising? I want to understand this, and the students would want to know.
Jyoti, this compromise has been happening for a while now. Today we've had students who were who were applying to the IITs, and they were applying for computer science or computer engineering, and they never got that. So they took that, okay, we'll take chemical engineering, or we'll take industrial engineering, we'll take something which is not so much in demand. So we have that brand. We have IIT brand. It doesn't matter what we've studied. That compromise they've been making for a long time. I don't personally agree with that compromise, because I think students should study what they want to study, what their passion is. And you have to find that balance between getting into a top university and getting into a course of your choice. So now with what the CBSE has done is that they have made this even more difficult for students. Like just like how our student was mentioning that with a 98%, she must have been so happy when she saw her marks. I got 98. And then you realize that there are 1,000 more students with me who all have got 98. So how precious is my 98 anymore? So what this board has done for students is that they have added this extra dimension of confusion, that now you don't know if you're going to get the college you want. If you get the college you want, you don't know you're going to get the course you want. So I would say that that compromise has to stop, where you don't deviate too much from the course which you originally want to do. And if that means you're not getting admission, take your gap year and try again next year.
Rahul, one quick word on what do you sense that this has done to the careers of so many students?
It's been completely unfair, Chaiti. I think what you should ask Devyanshi here is what were her marks in class 10th, and now, how does she feel that a child who has worked hard for so many years, a year again, year after year, putting in her 200% of all your effort, and now today suddenly she has to compete with somebody who got marks by fluke?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but CBSE this time has played with their future, which is absolutely not right.
Devyanshi, are you feeling cheated about this? Because like Rahul was mentioning, that there are some who have just gotten marks by fluke as well, and you are one of the top students of your school, from what I understand from your teachers as well, and somebody who's worked so hard. Do you somewhere feel that why should somebody who has not worked as hard be on the same even keel as you?
Definitely, ma'am. I feel that right now we stand at a distinct disadvantage, because also like CBSE chose the criteria of giving an average of the best 3 scores for the exams that we've already appeared for. So we see that one student has actually got 100 marks in 6 subjects without even appearing in one of the subjects, that was geography. And even her statement was that definitely she expected to be a scholar or a topper, but CBSE results are surprising. So even when the scholars and the toppers have given such statements, there's no doubt that this has been, a completely extraordinary outcome, or an extraordinary result that CBSE has given this time.
And hence we wish and we hope that the DU and the other universities in this country are listening. They resolve this grade inflation issue, make sure that the admission is not just based on the cutoff, and make sure that they take a look at these children not with the selection criteria that they were used to, not by elimination, but by a new selection criteria. We can only hope that these universities are listening for the sake of the career of these students. I thank you very much, Dr. Karan Gupta, Devyanshi, Rahul, and Dr. Jaswinder, for taking your very valuable time out and joining us on this broadcast.
Hello everyone, this is Rahul Kamal here Hope you enjoyed this video. For the latest news and analysis, like and subscribe the India Today YouTube channel, and don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated.